Welcome into Delmarva Sports Insider alongside Brandon Bossert. I am Sports Director Trayvon Miles. Drew Williams is standing by. Welcome into the only live and local show giving you all you need to know about sports here on the shore.
That's right. Welcome in, everyone. We're getting down to crunch time, Trey, in the Bayside and the Henlope, and we've got a handful of games for all of these teams. And who's going to rise to the challenge? We're going to see.
Well, we talked about it last week. Who would step up to that challenge?
Right.
And we talked about teams playing consistent. So we will begin the party tonight in the Bayside. Plenty of action to get into. We'll start in Salisbury. Last night, an interesting matchup between Decatur and Y-High. Now remember, Decatur gave Y-High their closest game in a scare earlier in the year in Berlin. The Seahawks already up 6 at the break. Kobe Higgins knocking down the jumper right there, but Decatur getting a little too sloppy with the ball. Tywan Hardy is going to come away with the big-time dunk. How about a little bit later? Antoine Wilson there going to get the steal. He's going to get the finish. How about that? Y-High feasting off turnovers. Jason Handy tossing the loose ball up the floor. Ronnie Satchel going to polish off the play there with an easy and one to tie the ball game. We'd go back and forth. Check out Higgins a little bit later. He's going to knock down a corner three. But on the other end, Wilson finally getting his offense going. Going to get a Euro step here and get into the lane as Y-High takes the lead.
That's right, and Y-High starting to go on a run. Hardy shoveling it up toward Handy, and the big man polishes that one off right there. And the exclamation point on the night, Tywan Hardy right there with the big-time jam. The Tribe rallies to win this one 61-51.
We was playing selfish. We had to pick up. We're not a selfish team. We passed the ball. That's all we had to do. He said we just got to pick up start slacking, just pick it up, and we'll do better. So we picked it up, we talked in the locker room, we got our stuff together.
Now, Brandon, obviously this was a surprising finish. When you got to the game, what were you thinking when Decatur was up 6?
When I got to the game at halftime, I get in there and they're like, you're going to be shocked when you get into that gym and see the score. And Decatur up 6 points. Drew Haweisen with a very impressive first half out there, 15 of their 32 points. What are your thoughts on the game?
A couple of people DM'd me and said, hey, Y-High's losing at halftime. I'm thinking, you know what? Whatever Decatur has been doing, or whatever they did in their matchup against Y-High, teams should really try to start to implement what Decatur did. I think B.J. Johnson always has a great game plan, and his team steps up to the challenge whenever they play these guys. A 10-point game in Berlin, and they had Y-High on the ropes in the third quarter, I think is the last time Decatur had a lead. Actually got a third quarter lead in the Waller Dome as well, so pretty interesting. I suggest whatever Decatur did defensively, if teams and coaches watch film, get the film on the game and see what you can do to stop Y-High, especially these 2A teams.
Well, I think having someone down low like Haweisen to get all of those rebounds definitely plays a factor in that. But talking to Hardy after the game, he mentioned that Y-High wasn't moving the ball around as efficiently as they would like, and that's something that Coach Waller also stressed to them. So they came out in the second half, really a lot better ball movement, but the fact that they were also able to force a lot more turnovers in that second half,
important.
That was a key to Decatur not only losing the lead, but also Y-High getting and keeping the lead. But one player I want to focus on right now is Antoine Wilson, who scored 18 of his 22 in the second half. Just a sophomore, a young sophomore. And we see some of those Euro steps that he was doing, getting pressure on defense. He's really become a key player for this Y-High team. And they already have Handy and Ronnie Satchel and Hardy. You add Antoine Wilson to that mix, they are a formidable team come playoff time.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier on in the season. If Antoine Wilson can become the player that we think he is going to be,
and it looks like
that is going to be a very dangerous team. He's aggressive now. He was not aggressive at the beginning of the season. He is an aggressive player right now, and I think he's turned himself into a first-teamer.
Definitely. And we're going to toss it over to Drew Williams now with more games from around the Bayside. Drew?
Thanks, Brandon. Well, again, we mentioned more games, and let's get right into it. Busy night in the Bury. Crisfield head coach Andre Collins taking on his old team and James M. Bennett. Game tied as we close in on halftime. Courtray Fontaine, the big man with the big man move, going inside for the jump hook. Bennett moving it the other way. DJ Bellin with a sweet dump off pass to Darrell Turner, and he puts it up. Clippers just hanging around, but the Crabbers are going to go on a huge run before the half. Jarwin Brown sizing up his man, knocking down the three from the top of the key. And then just a few possessions later, why not? This guy, Rykel Waters, really turning on this part of the year. Goes up with the steal on the other way. 13-2 run for Crisfield, and they go into the half with a double-digit lead. In the second half, well, Crabbers starting to run away with it. Outlet pass goes up ahead to Waters, and he's going to finish with an insane, crazy layup. Grabbers run away in the second half, 84-63. And why not? Sticks to some more action in the Bury. Washington traveling to take on Parkside. The Rams coming out strong on offense. Ja'Kai Spence, nice pass down low to Javon Purnell for the easy 2. And then back the other way, Washington's Alden Horsey taking it all the way to the other end and finishing for a pair of his own. The Rams really clicking on offense that evening. Marcus Yarns inside to Spence. Hero steps his way right to the cup. And then later, the ball's going to find its way into the corner. And who else? Kwamir Snell is going to hit the corner triple. Parkside taking business and improves to 4-4 at home with a 73-47 win. And another game as the Bulldogs of North Carolina taking on North Dorchester. Bulldogs off to a great start on the break. Jason Brown bodying up his defender, takes it into the chest for the end one. And later it's Brown with a pass inside. It's tipped, but off the hands and into the hands of Kendron Wayman. That's his career .999 for Wayman. So just hovering around that 1,000-point mark. Then Vidal Bonds working the give and go. He goes with Brown and he buries a 3. 13-2 run to start the game for Steve Perry's crew. North Dorchester, well, they'd step up a little bit in the middle of the quarter. Not a lot to be happy about for them. But Jaheim Copper, nice move inside. He had 19 points to lead the Eagles. And the second quarter, sitting on 999 points. Kendron Wayman's going to get the pass from Bonds. He's going to put it up. Nice little move for him. And that will give him the 1,000 points. Wayman committed to Wake Forest football next year. Not bad on the court either. And for good measure, why not? Wayman bringing the house down. North Carolina, they roll on the road with a final of 74-43.
I mean, it feels good because you would think that a football player could be good at basketball, you know, like David Bailey, but it just feels good. It feels good to get it over with, and now we can just focus on the season and focus on playoffs.
And of course, some girls basketball action as well from last night. Easton hosting Kent Island. The Bucks were out and getting going early. Allison Corbin going to get it underneath the basket, gets the easy layup to fall. KI opens on a 6-2 run midway through the first quarter. After an Easton timeout, well, the Warriors, I don't know what they talked about, but they woke up. Pass outside to Abby Farr. She knocks down the 3. Then Farr's going to find Lily Osborne. She's going to split the defenders, and the jumper goes in for 2. And time winding down the first half. Maya Jeter getting in and diving inside, pulls up and knocks down the short jumper. 17 points, 13 rebounds for her. Warriors end the half on a 25-3 run. Second half, and they're just pouring it on at this point. Emily Griffith gets the inbound pass, hits the long 2, and Easton improves to 19-0 with a 46-27 win, and they lock up the Bayside North title.
It means a lot considering we might see them in playoffs, so just to move the ball, but it also helped us in figuring out what we got to work on. Teammates helped me out a lot, gave me spacing, saw the open shot, took it, rebound, but my teammates boxing helped me get an easier rebound, so if it wasn't for them, my stats don't matter.
Well, guys, we're off and running. We got some more scores to get to. Let's send it back over to the desk.
Thank you very much, Drew. A few more scores to get to you from the Bayside boys side of things. How about last night's major upset in the Bayside North?
Impressive.
Easton handing Kent Island their worst home loss of the year. A 10-point victory by Coach Deontay Heinsohn and the Warriors. They win by 10 in Stevensville. That is impressive.
That's impressive.
Yes. Cambridge spoiling Colonel Richardson's senior night with a 3-point win in American Corner.
Coach Fook's squad with a big win over rebuilding Mardella 70-45 and a huge score out of the North Carolina with a 59-52 overtime win over Queen Anne's. One thing about North Carolina or Kent Island that I found interesting, they play a lot better on the road than they do at home, actually.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, well, one of the things that we know is that there are only a handful of games left in the regular season. So Kent Island and Cambridge meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah, huge
I
game.
will say, yeah, whoever wins that game, easy to say, you can look at them and say they probably should win the Bayside North. Now, Cambridge went to Kent Island and beat them. Will Kent Island come back and return the favor is the question.
Well, Kent Island, I believe I saw, was undefeated on the road so far this year. So if history plays out on Tuesday, then we should expect a Kent Island victory. I mean, the Buccaneers are a very, very deep team led by Cole Cradaville. I expect them to – it's going to be a back-and-forth game.
Yes.
Cambridge has a lot of great athletes on their team. It's going to be an electric atmosphere there, and it will be very on brand for the North if one of these teams wins and then the other team wins the North title. You never know what's going to happen in the North. All we know is they're going to have to take on Y-High, and Y-High will more than likely be a huge favorite in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see. I know that Groove City, Cambridge, Maryland, is going to pack the house out.
Yes,
the
they
Valhalla
are.
is what they call it.
And you said I might be at that game.
You will be at that game on Tuesday. It's going to be very, very interesting. Like you said, it would be on brand that whoever wins this game may still go on to lose the North. So there are still a handful of games left, and that might leave the door open for the North Carolines and maybe the Queen Anne's. But that's not here nor there.
I think Queen Anne's actually has the best chance of taking on a Y-High with Jordan
exactly
Dozier
right.
down low.
I think I like Cambridge's chances, but we cannot we just cannot eliminate Ken Island.
Yeah,
they have deserved it, and they deserve to play in that Bayside Championship if they win. All right, with that being said, we could talk about this all day, right? That's going to do it for the A block. When we return, we're taking things to Delaware. The Dover Senators looking to stay perfect in the Henlopen. We've got them against Woodbridge when we come back.
Hi, I'm Jason Haney with Wild High Basketball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.